Let's talk coastal real estate. Not just coastal, but islands. Have you ever wanted to own an island? I kind of want to. And gosh, with all this global conflict and political tension, sluggish housing market, man, the headlines have been so heavy. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about an island. And I am referring to an article recently in Bloomberg by Sarah Rappaport. And she's reporting that the 1,100 acre island of Shuna, which is located off of Scotland's rugged west coast, is now for sale for the first time in nearly 80 years. And here's the thing. It's only $7.4 million for this massive island. The island's about a 10-minute boat ride off of the shore. There's also a heliport, but it's a pretty rustic looking island. As a matter of fact, it has a old castle that was built in the 1910s from a gold miner that struck it rich. He built this castle that's now falling down. And then the property has an additional 8 homes on it, which are really just the owners are using as Airbnb. So it's an island with a bunch of homes on it. That there's a bunch of essentially 2,500 foot houses that are for Airbnb. And then the island hosts 2 hunting parties a year. One, I think, for deer, and the other for some sort of bird. So the island has red deer and eagles and sheep, and then there's dolphins and seals off the shore, and it's a pretty cool deal. But I mentioned $7 million. If an extra $7 million, now I think the sellers are trying to sell it to ultra rich people that either want to turn it into a massive resort or into the ultra wealthy, second home. And so you could, there's a little mountain on the island. You could build a little, mansion on top of the island. You could populate it with more wildlife. You could open a zoo. I don't know. I mean, it's 1,100 acres. You got a lot. You can open a golf course. You could do whatever you want for just $7.4 million. Now, the Gawley family has owned it since the 1940s. And like I said, they've mostly run it as a holiday and game shooting business. Let me quickly show you the article, and then let me show you some of the pictures because it's a riot. Here's the article in Bloomberg. I will put a link to the article below. However, it's probably behind a firewall. If you want to learn more about this island, go to my LinkedIn, and I have a post on it today. But I do want to whet your appetite for island living. Here you go. Here's that castle built in 1910. This picture makes it look nicer than it is. It's actually falling apart. But here you go. The castle. Here's a big island, by the way, not small. You can see there's docks and houses all through this 1,100 acre island. Here you got a little deer running around on your island. See, I'm already calling it your island. Like, you got to manifest. It's your island already. Here's some of those houses. This is, I don't know what this is, old grain storage or something. Who knows? It's rock. It's dilapidated. But cool little beaches and coves. Here's one of the structures. The inside, they're making it look modern. Now, there is no amenities on the island. I mean, there's no electricity. I don't know where they get the water from. I don't know what their sewage is. They're totally off the grid. They can sometimes get cell reception from offshore, but you'd have to build all that stuff in your island. So if you want this island, I think you got to add that kind of things like septic. And I don't know if you could do well. You have to do some sort of saltwater treatment, and then you have to get a little power plant. But cool little houses sprinkled all over this island, and the island's big. It's not like a small island. And how many islands come with castles? I think that's pretty cool. Now it is in Scotland. I imagine it's kind of cold and damp a lot of the year, but I might be able to talk Mrs. Stowers into it. Who knows? We're not in the island. We're not in the market for an island. But if I was looking for an island, I might go in the South Pacific, the Caribbean, someplace like that. I don't know. But it's still kind of exciting to think about an island. Here's how I wrap. You guys can see all this. I will show you. It looks like there's a fish farm off the island. See, there's commerce even. And then you can see, like I said, there are some pretty cool little harbor here at the island. This could be your harbor. Your harbor. Can you imagine that? How crazy is that? Now, the thing here, you go, gosh, why am I talking about islands? And I told you, one, let's get a little escape from the current events. They're pretty heavy right now. But the other thing is, just in a more serious way, it's great to fantasize about stuff. It's great to dream about things, because the vision, the dreams are kind of what help you get through the grind. And there's a big grind right now. And so why this may not be your why, heck, it's probably not my why. Although if someone wants to give me $7 million, it could be my why. So it may not be your why, but make sure you know what your why is so that it's helping you through the grind. With that, I hope you got a little lightness out of this. I appreciate you giving me some time. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much.